Hey, hi. I'm Mona. This is Sacred Geometry Universe Video Journal Diary for January 4th, 2026. We just got back from the morning walk. It was cold out there. Well, not super cold, like it was brisk. But I had the shorts on, so it wasn't as brisk. Anyways, it's kind of grayish, a little bit of blue out there. Just normal stuff going on. Nothing special. I'm having my coffee right now. I'm drinking my coffee. And then I just swept. Just little stuff, really. Nothing going on. I did all the stuff I needed to do yesterday. So today we're just gonna hang out, do some normal stuff. I think I might do a little bit more of the exercise machine today. I haven't been really eating like big dinners like I have been before. You know? Something small. The eating habits haven't been so good. I think it's because, I don't know. I think it really depends on when I wake up. Because I feel full after I eat. And I eat at like between 5 and 6. The dogs eat between 4:45 and 5:30. That's their feeding time. And then actually, yeah, after I feed them, then normally I just, throw something together. But I haven't really been interested in anything special. You know what I mean? What I've been interested in is doing some baking stuff. Like I baked a couple loaves of bread. And it turned out nice. Because have you guys been seeing some of those videos of like when they compare the bread? Yeah. Like, I think I've seen one of somebody comparing the Australia bread to the bread here underwater, right? So they put underwater and, it kind of like disintegrated. It fell apart. And then they had somebody in America with the regular bread, like some honey wheat, nature's own or something like that. Even supposedly nature, they put the nature word in there, but nature's own. And it didn't fall apart. It was like a sponge, like you could wash your dishes with it. I was like, oh, shoot. So I decided, because I bought some bread flour, self-rising flour. I wanted I wanted to compare something though. I wanted to make, because this was yeast. I did it with yeast, right? A lot of people think like, oh, it's so hard to work. It's really not. That's what I used to think. I used to think like I didn't want to make anything that involved the yeast because it just seems like just an extra confusing step, but it's really not. Once you start using it and you realize, oh, it's just this, then you're okay with the yeast. But there's another way to make bread. You use that self-rising flour and then the what do you call it, like vanilla yogurt, and it makes a nice fluffy white bread. I have to get some yogurt if I want to test that out, because I already made the other bread. It's more firm. Yeah, it's more firm, but I didn't put it under the water, or I didn't put it under the water to check to see if it falls apart, because I put it in the freezer. I also heard, I don't know if it works, but it doesn't bother me because I remember when I was young, my mom always kept the bread in the freezer. So like, then I saw something on YouTube about like, keeping the bread in the freezer, and about how it changes the molecular composition of the bread in regards to like starches. Something like that. You know what I mean? Something trippy like that. And I was like, oh, so I always, and plus, when I was on the road, I couldn't do that. But then again, I wasn't baking bread. I just got like a loaf or a pack of tortillas. Like I wouldn't load up on buying bread because it would go bad out there. You know what I mean? And you know how a lot of people, because I was also watching some videos, how they were saying how, oh, if you leave the bread out, it doesn't go bad. And now that I think about it, the bread would go bad, but only in different environments. Like if the environment was more humidity and heat, yeah, things go bad real quick in that. You gotta, that's why in those environments, when I was there in those environments, I wouldn't load up on stuff, not stuff that's perishable, anyways, right? So, that also plays a role in whether or not things go bad or rot and all that stuff. Because when you go to other environments where the climate is colder, things aren't going to go bad as quick. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of this stuff is kind of weird, but you also have to think about it, Me, I know about certain things because I've been in the different climates, I've had the different foods, and I see the way of the degradation in regards to the food. So it's kind of like some is yes and some is no. You know what I mean? But I do prefer to, now that I know how to do it, I like the fresh bread, because even though, like, you don't get that fresh bread taste out the freezer, like, I already got my piece with a little bit of butter on there, like when it came out fresh. And before I sliced it, I got the end cap and I put a little butter on there, because that's usually, like, when it's the best, right when it's out of the oven. So I have my little piece, And then yesterday I made some French toast with it in the morning. I had French toast for breakfast. And yeah, I'm thinking, what can I... The thing about make your own bread, though, well, I don't know. Because when you make grilled cheese sandwiches with white bread, it's so good like that, right? You put some butter on there, you put the little American cheese in there, you make a grilled cheese sandwich. It's not the same when you make your own bread because it's not as soft. It's not as, But then again, I haven't tried it. And also, when you slice the bread that you make after it's cold and cooled, it's more firm. It's not as softy, I think even if I were to cut it and make a grilled cheese sandwich when it was fresh, I'm not sure it would be so softy like that. I don't know because I never tried it. Should have tried it, But I don't want to make things just to try it and then eat it, and I'm not not hungry. You know what I mean? It's like I have to plan that stuff because I don't want to be as big as a house. You know what I mean? I have back issues too. My back is bad. If I gain the weight, my back will hurt, and I don't like that. This is why I'm always going out in the mornings, walking, working out, because I got to keep the weight down, Plus, you keep your weight down and your health gets better. Like, this is something that's known. It's, but you keep the weight down the right way, right? By eating healthy and exercise. Not by starving yourself or doing drugs or whatever. No, those aren't the ways. I remember in the past I used to date somebody, and this person used to have to do a drug, this particular type of drug, because he didn't want to get fat. Shoot, you don't want to get fat, go work out, go do exercise, But in those times I was not, thinking straight. So, I was thinking straight, but I was also partaking in bad stuff. So, that should have been the first red flag right there for me to be like, oh shoot, time to exit stage left, right? But I didn't. I didn't, But, we all go through things. We all go through some certain times and phases in our life until we're finally just like, you know what? All that stuff was stupid, And it was actually, some of these things that we do that aren't so good. It actually blinds us from reality around us. Yeah, because I didn't notice all kind of crazy stuff going on, back years ago when I was under the influence myself. Yeah, I wasn't thinking clearly. I wasn't seeing things clearly. That's what I'm saying too. Like people who drink alcohol. Look, I didn't think I had anything to say today, and look, we're already at 9:28. Anyways. But, this is why, I don't partake in alcohol either, because, alcohol affects your mental state. Just like other drugs, it stays in your system, and it affects your mental state. People come home and they have some drinks, or they get wasted, and they figure, oh, the next day we're okay. Yeah, it's okay. You're still got that in your system. You know what I mean? I remember... I remember getting really messed up overseas, like in other countries, and just drinking a lot, and then in the morning just had a really good hearty breakfast. And then I went to work the whole rest of the day, you know. It's just like, damn, you know. But yeah, you know, that stuff's still in your system. I don't care. And it's known. You can look it up online, you know. And if you're with somebody who likes to drink, and if they don't get that drink, look out. Here comes the abuse, because I dated an alcoholic too. Yeah, that fool. He's not alive anymore, though. It seems like all the people that I've dated in the past who've done me wrong, they're not alive anymore. That's kind of strange. Anyways, you know. But life goes on, right? We all gonna go sometime. All of us. Me too, everybody. We're all gonna go. Just whenever, you know, God decides. That's how I see it. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Yeah, it turned out to be sad and bummerish, you know. Not really. I mean, you know, I'm just chit-chatting, talking, you know. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys. January 4th, 2026. I'm Mona, Sacred Geometry Universe, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.